Welcome to the Art of Mortgage Marketing podcast, where you'll learn the secret sauce, what it really takes to build a thriving mortgage business doing what you love without relying on cold calling or annoying realtors. And now, let's join your host, Doren Aldana.
Aldana here from mortgagemarketingcoach.com, coming at you with another broadcast to give you some tips, some ideas, some distinctions to take your business and your life to the next level. And today we're going to talk about the top 6 reasons why mortgage professionals fail. So if you think about the difference that makes the difference between the top dogs, the top producers, and the mediocre majority, what is the difference? What is it that the people who fail do that the top producers don't do? What are the snags? What are the constraints? What are the pitfalls? What are the landmines that they fall prey to that the top dogs don't? That's what we're going to cover today. So let's get into it, shall we? The first reason why mortgage professionals fail, one of the top reasons out of the top 6 is this. They fail to condition a winner's mindset. They fail to condition themselves to gain a winner's mindset. What do I mean by a winner's mindset? Well, it's easy to have a winner's mindset when it's sunny skies, lollipops and rainbows, smooth sailing. It's easy to be happy. It's easy to be resourceful. It's easy to be positive. It's easy to be on the top of your game and feel great when things are going great. But when you face adversity, when you face challenges, when you face the storm, that's when the winner's mindset or the lack thereof shows up. And so if you're wondering, okay, so Doren, how do I know if I have a winner's mindset? I'll tell you how. When you face challenges, how do you show up? When you face adversity, disappointment, setbacks, how do you show up? Do you feel sorry for yourself? Do you play the victim role? Do you pout? Do you feel depressed and dejected? I'm not saying it's not bad to feel that in a moment. You can feel that for the moment. You can feel disappointed in the moment. You can feel that pain in the moment. But winners don't stay there. You see, winners, they visit the disappointment. They visit the dejection. They visit the frustration momentarily, and then they shift gears. And then their mindset of a winner that they've been conditioning day in and day out kick in. And so they shift into resourcefulness. They shift into power. They shift into playfulness. They shift into finding a solution from a place of resourcefulness and positivity and positive expectation, as opposed to, oh man, I knew I couldn't do this. Oh man, how am I ever going to win? Oh man, life sucks. Seriously, why me? Not again. Really? Why does this have to be so hard? Really? Frick, this is so damn difficult. Why does life have to be so damn difficult? You feel me? You see, it's the state you live in, and how you live in that state is dependent upon your conditioning. So for example, a garden. What's the default setting in a garden? It's weeds, right? If you leave that garden to its own devices, what do you get? You get weeds. Same thing with our minds. If you leave your mind just to the natural proclivity and gravity of life, what do you get? You get negativity, you get doubt, you get fear, you get stagnation, you get stress, you get anxiety, you get depression. That's the natural gravity of life. Have you noticed? If you watch the news, what are you doing? Are you adding more weeds to your garden or taking the weeds out? You're adding more weeds, more fear, more negativity, right? So again, the garden default setting is weeds. So in order for us to have what we want in that garden, what do we have to do? We have to pull the weeds out. If you just put the seeds you want in the garden and you don't take the weeds out, the weeds are going to take your garden. They're going to take your seed. So we got to weed out the negativity. We got to weed out all that stuff you don't want. How do we do that? Well, we do that by conditioning ourselves to think like a winner, to have a winner's mindset. What is that, Doren? How does that look? What do you do daily to cultivate a champion mindset? I'll tell you, visualization, affirmations, and education. Those are the big 3. That's the triunity of transformation: visualization, affirmation, education. So every day, the champion carves out time in the morning to maximize their morning, to prime the pump, to fuel the rocket, to win. It's not the time to start working on your muscles in the last minute when you're about to go, on stage to compete, right? The time to condition your muscles is in advance, in preparation. When you prepare in private, you will be praised and you will prosper in public. So it's about the preparation and preparing yourself daily to think like a winner, to feel the victory, to own your victory in advance. So when the challenges hit, you're ready. When the storm hits, you're ready, right? When resistance hits, you're ready. Not when it shows up, that's when you start training for it. No, you got to train for it in advance. So that's the single biggest reason why mortgage professionals fail, is because they got stinking thinking. They got old ways of seeing themselves, old ways of thinking that hinder their ability to take powerful, positive, proactive action and get powerful, proactive results. And so they stay in the cycle of hitting the resistance, feeling sorry for themselves, feeling powerless, feeling like a victim, shrinking back, and not taking powerful, resourceful, consistent, persistent, creative, effective action. You see what I'm saying? So it's the mindset that will either make you or break you. And you can't leave that to happenstance. You can't leave that to chance. It's got to be something you do by design daily. And so that's the single biggest reason why mortgage professionals fail. And that's why I'm camping out there. Case in point, I'm a big MMA fan. I love mixed martial arts. Always have, always loved martial arts as a kid, watching Shaolin monk movies and Bruce Lee movies. And recently I've got into UFC and MMA. And you probably have heard, even if you're not into that, you've probably heard of a rising star in the industry that just came out of nowhere by the name of Conor McGregor. Why is it you know about this guy? Is he more skilled than all the other guys? Not necessarily. What makes him unique? What makes him stand out? What makes him extraordinary? He'll tell you himself. He spends more time training his mind and conditioning his mind for certainty, conditioning his mind for victory, conditioning his mind for confidence and competence than he does condition his body. Do you think there might be a correlation there between him being an absolute superstar in the industry, making literally hundreds of times more money than the average person in the UFC, and his absolute non-negotiable resolve to conditioning his mindset? Do you think there might be a correlation there? You better believe it. And so the same thing is true for us. The top producers, the ones who really soar, the ones who really thrive, are the ones who make it a non-negotiable must to condition their winner's mindset. What's your daily routine? I'm here to tell you, if you're not happy with the results, don't look at the fruit, look at the root. If you want to change the fruit, you can't change the fruit just by poking at the fruit, sniffing at the fruit. You can't change the fruit by squeezing the fruit. You change the fruit by changing the root, by changing the health of the root. How do you change the health of the root? You change it in the inner self. If you want to change the visible, you got to change the invisible. You want to change what's above the ground, you got to change what's below the ground. So you've got to get into the inner game of success, which is your mindset, who you're becoming, how you think, how you show up in the face of adversity. That's the key to massive, unstoppable success. You can't leave it to chance, friends. You can't leave this to happenstance. It's got to be a daily routine. The quality of your results will rarely exceed the quality of your daily routine. So that's the first reason why people fail. The second reason why people fail in this business is a failure to proactively plan. A failure to proactively plan. So in other words, they just fly by the seat of their pants. You know, they show up, they wake up in the morning, they roll out of bed, they have breakfast, they check their iPhone, they might watch the news, and then they peel off to the office and they get going. And the first thing they do, what do? They check their emails, right? They get sucked into the vortex of operations. They're putting out fires. They're dealing with the urgent and important. Sound familiar? So all day long, they're just getting towed around by the nose, by the urgent and important. They're in reactive mode all day long. There's nothing proactively planned. And if it is, they don't follow through with it. Why? Because they get sucked into the vortex of the urgent and important. They've got their fireman hat on, and all they're doing all day long is reacting to crises. Sound familiar? I know you guys never do that, but I'm sure you can imagine a few people in this industry might have the inclination, right? It might be a possibility. So failure to proactively plan is another big pitfall you want to steer away from, because that'll keep you in stagnation. That'll keep you working in your business as opposed to on your business. It'll keep you just focusing on the urgent instead of doing the things that really make a difference when it comes to pushing the needle on profit and performance in your business. So you've got to be cognizant of not just going through the day, but planning the day with purposeful intention. The most winningest, if that's a word, basketball coach of all time in the NCAA is John Wooden. And he didn't leave his training to happenstance. He planned his practices to the second. Everything was purposeful and intentional. And he had a coined phrase called the daily masterpiece. And so he didn't just go through the day. He didn't just make it through the day. He planned his daily masterpiece from what he was going to do from start to middle to finish of every practice. He even trained these high-level elite basketball players how to put their socks on so that they don't get little kinks in their socks that when they play at high intensity cause blisters. And all of a sudden, a little thing becomes a big thing and takes him out of the game. So he saw the importance of being very purposeful and intentional about the little things. And he would plan his work, and then he would work his plan, and he would lead his team to do likewise. So what are you doing to plan your work and work your plan? Are you just flying by the seat of your pants every day in reactivity mode, or are you purposefully planning out how you're going to work on the vital few as opposed to just getting sucked into the vortex of the trivial many? Your success, aside from cultivating your winning mindset, will be inextricably linked to your ability to plan your work and work your plan and work on the important but not urgent. You see, building systems is important but not urgent. Learning is important but not urgent. Proactively generating leads is important but not urgent. Working on systems and policy and procedure and protocol is important but not urgent. If you have a team, building your team, mentoring your team, growing your team, training your team is important but not urgent. Are you with me? So the champions make that time non-negotiable and sacred. They don't let other people dictate their life. They're not what I would call yesaholics. Oh, you want this? Yes. Oh, you want this? Yes. Oh, you want me to do this right now? Yes. Right? If you want to be a champion, you got to learn to say no to distractions so you can say yes to thriving instead of just surviving. You can say yes to freedom instead of just having a glorified job trading time for money. You can say yes to be a champion in your life instead of just being mediocre. You guys with me on this? So that's the second pitfall. We're going through the 6 pitfalls, or the top 6 failures, the top 6 reasons why mortgage professionals fail. So the first one is a failure to cultivate a winning mindset. The second one is failure to proactively plan. The third one is failure to proactively prospect. I can't tell you how many mortgage professionals I meet and I ask them, so do you have a plan for proactively prospecting every day? Well, yeah, sort of. Well, tell me about that. How's that work? Well, sometimes I'll reach out to realtors, or sometimes I'll call clients, or sometimes I'll reach out to builders. So tell me about your schedule. Do you have that blocked out? Well, not really. I try to get around to it when I'm able, but no, not really. Or yeah, I do, but I don't, I don't actually follow it, or I don't follow it consistently. Does that sound familiar to you guys? So it's a failure to proactively do the thing that will make the biggest difference to your pipeline, to your income, to your profit. It's prospecting. It's lead generation. Without leads, you've got no lifeblood to your business. You're a dying duck if you don't have leads. If you have no leads today, I guarantee you 30 days from now, your pipeline is going to be mighty dry, right? Whatever you do today to proactively generate leads impacts your pipeline 30, 60 days from now. So we're working on a 30 to 60 day sales cycle. What you do this week impacts what happens 5, 6, 7 months, or 5, 6, 7 weeks from now, rather. So again, it's consistently planting seeds so that those seeds can cultivate, incubate, take root, and bear fruit. But you've got to do it daily. You can't just kind of do it when you get around to it. You can't do it when you feel like it. You can't do it when you're in the mood. It's got to be a mission critical must. It's got to be the same kind of mission critical must as putting your underwear on and brushing your teeth in the morning. Can you imagine if you got out of bed and you just did it when you felt like it? That'd be kind of, weird, wouldn't it? You get into the office, oh, I forgot to brush my teeth. Sorry for the halitosis. Let me direct my breath over here. I'm sorry about that. Or, oh, I don't have my underwear on, and ooh, why do I have wet spots all over my pants, right? After you go to the washroom, it has a negative consequence. Well, same with your proactive prospecting. If you don't do that stuff, it has a negative consequence called your pipeline going up and down like this. This is your income. Well, Doren, I don't like the, waiting to wonder where my next deal is going to come from. I don't like the certain uncertainty. I don't like the fact that I don't know what's going to happen. And I know the bills are coming in like clockwork, but what about my revenue? What about my income? I don't like that uncertainty. I don't like lying awake at night worrying how I'm going to pay the bills. Well, that's the same thing as saying I don't like people being turned off by me having bad breath because I don't brush my teeth. There's a natural consequence to you neglecting these vital few activities, like calling clients, calling realtors, doing something to proactively generate leads. And if you're brand new, it's reaching out to friends, family, associates, people who know you, and letting them know you're in the business, letting them know, hey, I'm in the business. Here's what we do that's unique. Who do you know who might be thinking about buying, selling, refinancing, who I can help, asking for referrals. You see, you got to be proactive about it. So that's the third reason why people fail in this business is they don't proactively prospect on a daily basis. And you can say, well, Doren, I don't like doing that stuff. Well, I don't like being broke. So that's why I do it. See, you cannot like it. Who cares? My kids tell me all the time, I don't feel like it. Well, feeling like it ain't a prerequisite, sweetheart. Feeling like it ain't a prerequisite, son, right? I didn't ask you if you feel like it. I asked you to do it because I care about you, because I want the best for you. And this is the same thing. You may not feel like it. You may not feel like doing any of this. But as Jim Rohn would say, discipline weighs an ounce, regret weighs a ton. So you cannot feel like doing the things that are required for success, but you also don't feel like being broke either. You don't feel like saying to your spouse or to your significant other, we can't afford it. You don't feel like looking at the bank account at the end of the month and knowing there's too much month at the end of the money and you don't know how you're going to pay the bills and you got revolving debt. You don't feel like that stuff either. So you're either going to pay the price of success or you're going to pay the price of failure. Either way, you're going to pay the price, either on the front end or the back end. You're going to feel the price of discipline, which weighs an ounce, or you're going to take the price, the burden of regret, which weighs a ton. Which would you prefer? Well, I don't know about you, but for me, it's a no-brainer. Discipline is where it's at. That's where all the fruit is. That's where all the juice is. That's where all the victory is. That's where you want to be. So that's the third reason. The fourth reason why people fail in this business is they fail to delegate the minutia. They fail to offload all the little things that are mind-numbing and boring, but they have to be done. And one of the things that causes a lot of people to stay small in this business and eke out a meager existence in this business far too long and way under their potential is that they're competent. I'll say that again. The biggest reason why you will stay stagnated in mediocrity is because you're competent. You're good at what you do. And that's what keeps you small, because you do it all yourself. You say to yourself, well, if I want it done right, I've got to what? Do it myself. Sound familiar? That kind of thinking will keep you small. That kind of thinking will keep you in a glorified job, trading time for money, instead of building a true business, a real business that sets you free. You see, if you do it all yourself and you're the chief cook and bottle washer wearing all the hats, how are you going to build a real business? How are you going to build true freedom? You're going to be locked to the ball and chain at the office all day long, doing all that crap yourself. Is that really what you signed up for? Is that really what you want? Well, how are you going to build freedom if you keep telling yourself, if I want it done right, I got to do it myself? Or good people are hard to find. Or it's hard to find good, reliable people. Well, if you keep telling yourself that, guess what you're going to attract? More chumps, more duds, more losers who prove that belief. What if you were to say superstars only? I'm only going to work with superstars. I will not accept anything less than a superstar. I'm going to build a superstar team. Everyone is going to be Eagles, no chickens, only Eagles. Everyone's going to be elite in their particular role and responsibility. We have a tribe of winners here. I'm not accepting anything less, period. Right? From that mindset, now you're starting to attract the right people, and you're going to get them to dance in their strengths so you can be freed up to dance in your strengths. Doesn't that, just imagine that for a moment. Isn't that exciting? Just the idea of you just doing what you love. You do what you do best so you can get the best to do all the rest. You see, that's what I'm talking about. That's a business worth building. Wouldn't you agree? So that's the fourth reason why people fail. They fail to delegate. And because of that, they don't have a true business. And all of a sudden, they become the constraint, the bottleneck in their business. You may be watching this right now, and you know that you are the constraint in your business because you're doing it all. You're doing way too much crap yourself that you shouldn't be doing. You're doing all the minutia. You're getting bogged down with all the trivial many, and now you have no bandwidth, no time, no energy for the vital few, like planning and learning and preparing and proactively prospecting and putting systems in place and putting policy and procedure and protocol in place and putting team in place and being a visionary and growing and scaling and rainmaking. That's the stuff that's really going to pour gasoline on the fire, right? Not pushing paper, right? Pushing paper ain't going to do it. Prospecting and proactively planning will cause you to prosper a whole lot more than paper pushing. Wouldn't you agree? So that's that. Let's move on to the fifth reason why people fail. They fail to implement systems. They fail to implement systems. Systems stands for save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. Systems. Save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. What's the difference between Bob's Burger Joint and McDonald's doing $40 billion a year versus Bob's Burger Joint doing, $400K a year? What's the difference? I'll tell you the difference. Systems. How is it that McDonald's can have a multi-billion-dollar empire pretty much run and operated by pimple-popping teenagers, while Bob's Burger Joint have the owners there all the time, very competent. They know exactly how to do everything, but they're doing everything themselves. What's the difference? Systems. Systems for every little thing, from how long those French fries stay in the boiling hot oil to when to flip the burger to the second. Everything is precise. Systems, policy, procedure, protocol. If it's all up here in your head, you don't have a business. You have you, right? You have a you-based business, not a systems-based business. That's not going to cut it if you want to take it to the next level. If you want to make $500,000 a year or $1 million a year or $2 million a year in this business, you're not going to do it just by flying by the seat of your pants and having all the knowledge and all the policy and protocol in your head. You got to put it down in systems, from a CRM to checklists to a operations manual, to a sales manual. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to be actually delineated and systematized. So that's another reason why mortgage professionals fail, because they get burnt out. They just get tired of the minutia and the mundane of doing the same old shit every day. It gets boring after a while. Have you noticed? Doing the same old stuff. So you need systems to undergird the empowerment of others so that you can get team to do it instead of it all being on you. Team stands for together everyone achieves more, or together everyone achieves miracles. That's the beauty of having team. But you can't have team if you don't have policy, procedure, protocol, and systems. You just can't. You're not going to have them all animated with the same spirit. They're not going to be consistent. They're not going to be marching to the same drum beat, to the same orders. Does that make sense, guys? So systems is another key piece a lot of people who fail in this business neglect to put in place. And last but not least, the sixth reason out of the top 6 reasons why mortgage professionals fail is failure to invest in yourself. Failure to invest in the 3 pounds between your ears. Failure to invest in your skill, your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding. Failure to get insight outside of yourselves from other people who've already been there and done it and have the scars to prove it. Failure to have someone point out your blind spots and to be able to see what you don't see because you're just too close to the action. Failure to proactively seek out mentors, coaches, consultants, advisors. Through a multitude of counselors, one wages war successfully. So what you'll often hear low producers and people who fail in this business say is, I can't afford a coach. I can't afford to get mentors. I can't afford to buy courses. I can't afford to get that education. Well, if you think education's expensive, try ignorance, try struggle and needless frustration and spinning your wheels and banging your head against the wall and all the time, energy, and money and waste all the money you're leaving on the table because you don't know what you don't know, right? I did this for years. You know, I could have literally taken what I achieved in 13 years and condensed it down to 3 years if I had the right mentor. And if I had strategically invested in the right mentor, I could achieve more in 3 years than I achieved in 13 years. I'm telling you that for real. It's the mentors that I finally decided to get off my wallet and invest in. And then invest in the education when it comes to executing what they teach me that has made all the difference in my career. It literally blew the doors off my income, blew the doors off my ability to grow my business, to lead, to delegate, to create freedom, to create an extraordinary lifestyle for my family. I mean, it was a game changer. But it never would have happened had I told myself I can't afford it. It never would have happened if I said, "Oh, you know what? This isn't the best time. I should do this maybe when I'm a little further along. Maybe when I have a little bit more in my bank account. Maybe when it's a little bit more affordable. Maybe when it's a little bit more comfortable." No. It's never comfortable. It's never uncomfortable to make a bold, intelligent investment in your breakthrough. And I'm not saying this just so you can invest with me. I mean, if you were not the right fit, then find someone else. It's all good. I'm just saying strategically invest in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, systems, campaigns, expertise. That way you can condense decades into days. You can write proverbial small checks so you can cash big ones. You can invest proverbial dimes so you can get a return of dollars. You see what I'm saying? It's about strategic investment in your own success so that you're not just doing the same old thing and getting the same old result. You guys with me on that? So you got to look for people who know their shit, who own their expertise, who know how to produce results. They've got case studies, they've got success stories, they got testimonials, they've got ample proof that they're the real deal. Seek those people out and invest strategically in your own breakthrough, in your own success. All right, guys? So that way you'll steer clear of the landmine of ignorance. Jim Rohn said it well. He said, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is suffering. Ignorance is strife. Ignorance is spinning your wheels, depression, dejection, rejection, and suffering. Ignorance is not bliss. So we've got to strategically become pursuers of wisdom. That's the big idea. And it's fun. It's fun to win. It's fun to strategically invest in people who invest back in you, and you get kick-ass breakthrough results. You're making more money. You have more free time. You have more fulfillment. It's fun to plant seeds that bear root, take root and bear fruit. That's fun. It's fun to strategically invest where you know you're getting a yield, a handsome yield on your investment. So don't get jaded and say, well, I don't have the money, or I don't know anybody who is worth investing in, or I'm confused. Don't let yourself just stay stuck there. Demand of yourself. You must find mentors. You must find people who can help you take your life and your business to the next level. Don't just let it go to the default setting of comfort. If you coddle your comfort zone, I promise you it will lead to complacency, that leads to neglect, that leads to compromise, that leads to drifting, that leads to you settling for less than your best, less than God's best for you. So keep pursuing, keep striving, keep pursuing the highest and greatest good for your life, for your family, for your business. And I promise you, if you keep knocking on the door will be open and it will be given unto you. So if you guys are seeking out wisdom, if you're looking for a mentor, if you're looking for insight, if you're looking for clarity, and you have not yet taken advantage of an opportunity to get clarity through me and my team, I invite you to go to our website at mortgagemarketingcoach.com/apply and book a breakthrough complimentary session with us where we can help you get clarity on where you are now, clarity on where you want to be in the next year and beyond, and clarity on how you can get there working smarter, not harder, with the right systems, the right tools, the right campaigns, the right marketing, the right approach, to be focusing on the right things, the vital few as opposed to the trivial many. You'll have more clarity out of that 60-minute call than perhaps you've gained in your entire career. And I don't care how long you've been in this business. So if that sounds meaningful and worthwhile to you, if that seems like something that would be a benefit to you, I invite you to check us out. Go to mortgagemarketingcoach.com/apply. So I'm going to type this on the screen, guys, so you can take a look and make sure you get the right link. So free breakthrough coaching session. I should have typed this in earlier, but oh well. And it's www.mortgagemarketingcoach.com/apply. All right. So I'm bringing it up on the screen. There it is there. All right, guys. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I don't want this to just be a monologue. If at all possible, I'd love to have this be a dialogue. So engage me if you have any questions at all. Hit me up. I'll stay on this live broadcast for as long as you guys have questions. So if you have any questions, comments, observations, anything you want to get a little more distinction on as it relates to your life, your business, maybe there's something you heard today that inspired you to make a course correction, or maybe there's something that you're like still stuck with in terms of how you execute it, how you apply it to your business, how you apply it to your life. I'm here for you. If you have any questions, whether it be on this live broadcast or whether it be afterwards, just pop it in the comments section. Just comment on this video. You'll see the comment section right below this video. You see it there. And I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. So last call for questions before I sign off on the live broadcast. Did you guys get value from this session at all? If so, I'd love to hear a comment from you. Just hit me up with a comment, say yes or absolutely or hell yeah or hell no, whatever it happens to be. I'd love to get some feedback from you guys as to whether or not you got value from this. If you dig it, we'll keep doing it. If you don't dig it, it seems like it's a waste of your time or mine. Maybe we'll have to do something else. But the intention for me today, as it always is to serve you guys, to help you guys create breakthroughs, to help you guys become better versions of yourselves so that you can provide for your family and at a higher level, create breakthrough results and be able to really just create the dream life that you got in this business to begin with, So I hope you guys got a little bit more distinction as to how you can do that today. Thank you for watching. And this is Doren Aldana from mortgagemarketingcoach.com. Go forth, take massive action, bring massive positive energy to that action in the form of certainty, confidence, enthusiasm, passion, and you, my friend, will get massive results. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for being with me. And again, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments section. Peace.